I invited you, and we talked about this, before, but I invited you here because you're not doing AI, you're not developing the models, you're not a data scientist, but you are uniquely positioned in that you're talking to these CPOs and chief supply chain officers and the C-suite about what this organization is going to look like as it's impacted with all of these AIs and cognitive technologies that and the circulating buzzwords that we currently hear. So I know you have a very unique perspective that I wanted to add your voice into this podcast.
Yeah, and I think this is probably my biggest hot button, and because let's go right to the who is the buyer, the CPO or the chief supply chain officer. They're not going to buy AI,
right?
And because what are you buying? You're not you're not going to go to AWS or Azure and buy all these models. It's too abstract for them.
Mm-hmm.
And yet, every consultant that walks in their door, every startup that walks in their door, even the big vendors, the SAPs, Oracles, and Coupas of the world are walking in there like AI this, AI that, machine learning this. Mm-hmm. And it's just this constant, steady state of buzzwords. And actually, if I can just take a detour for a moment, and I'll come back to your question. So one thing I do, and I'm known for, is introducing startups to these executives. And what I do is I curate them, and pre-pandemic, I would they would all come to San Francisco to the Kearney office, and we do these immersion days, and very, very successful. But what I noticed, and the executive noticed it too, is when you sit for 2 days and you listen to 12, 14, 16 sort of startup pitches, it's all the same. AI, blockchain, machine learning, RPA, you can fill in the blank with the buzzword. And it's almost comical. And so when you're sitting in the other seat, when you're on the buy side or you're absorbing the sell side, it's like, can we just dial that back? Because it's not real. We are not, it's not, I know the technology is real, the algorithms are real, but it's not real. It's not, I'm going to rephrase that. It's not tangible to these executives. Okay. And so I use this in the book. We need a bridge. So if you can provide a bridge and it has, great super strength bolts, I don't care what kind of bolts they are. I just want a secure bridge. And it's the same thing for my supply chain. I think it's great that all these startups and these tech providers have this AI and this machine learning, but I don't care that, that's not pertinent to me. It's what business problem are you solving? And are you doing it in a way that's conducive to my operations? And that's the question. And almost nobody answers that question.